So make sure that you make the most of it every time you go over the bridge. We can make some noise, get some waves. On my journey today, I am going to tell you a little bit about the wonderful things that we're passing along the river. So first, straight ahead of us, we have got, of course, the new Palace of Westminster, also known as the Houses of Parliament. Now, there's been a palatial building on this site since back to the Anglo-Saxon times. The old Palace of Westminster used to be home to the royal family until King Henry VIII decided to move over to the Palace of Whitehall, handing the old Palace of Westminster over to the government, creating the first real Houses of Parliament. Now, are we ready for our first waves today, everybody? Hello! Excellent work. And the old Palace of Westminster stood on this site right up until the year 1834, when the Exchequer at the time decided that they wanted to burn 2 cartloads for the wooden tanks that they used to use for accounting in the underfloor stoves of the building. This unfortunately caused a rather large fire and burned the entire building to the ground. Now, many concerned Londoners obviously gathered on the other side of the river, there on the south bank, and they weren't there to help though, of course. They were chanting, "Burn, Parliament, burn." And one man was arrested for excessive chanting, so if you did want to shout "Burn, Parliament, burn" today, you're more welcome to do so. I just advise you not to do it too excessively. Okay, you have to be warned. Now, you may be able to see out the front of Parliament here, we've got 2 different colours of awnings. We've got red awnings and green awnings. The key lines have noticed the bridge ahead of us, the bridge is red, and the bridge behind us, Westminster Bridge, is green. Now, this colour coding is no coincidence. There was a lot of colour coding surrounding the Houses of Parliament and within the Houses of Parliament as well, and this is for the 2 houses within. You've got red representing the House of Lords and green representing the House of Commons. And the House of Commons are publicly elected MPs that debate legislation in Parliament, and the House of Lords are selected by the monarch or their wisdom or something, and they're there to ratify that legislation. So all of this colour coding is to keep them separate. They've got separate bridges to enter Parliament, they've got separate dining halls, which is what you can see the extension of out there, they've got separate bars, separate bathrooms. And all of this separation is to avoid any sort of corruption here in the UK. I will let you be the judge of how well that's worked. You can also see on the House of Parliament 3 iconic towers. The first of which, the tallest with the Union Jack flag over it, is the Victoria Tower. This was once the royal entrance to Parliament. It is now home to the Parliamentary Archives. Inside that building you'll find every law that has ever been written in the UK since the year 1400. You'll also find every ballot paper from the general election. So if you haven't ever voted in a general election here in the UK and wondered where your ballot paper went, well, it's in that tower just there. The central tower is a chimney for all the fires in the building. I'm not sure they'll be making them today. And the tower at the end there with the clock faces, of course you know it, the beautiful clock tower. You know it, you love it. What's it called, everybody? Big Ben. It's a good guess. Big Ben. I'm afraid I have tricked you there. It is in fact the Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben refers to the 13.5-ton bell that you'll find inside the tower. A bit of a trick question, guys. Sorry about that. The Elizabeth Tower was named for the late Queen's Diamond Jubilee back in 2012. The bell is supposedly named after Sir Benjamin Hall, who was Chief Commissioner on the Works at the time it was installed. Apparently he was a very loud and very round man, and clearly not very nice with his co-workers. They took one look at that large, round, loud bell and thought, then that looks just like you. So there's a lesson there, guys, be nice to the people that work here. Not so many people this time on Westminster Bridge, but we can see if we can get some waves going back through the other way. Lastminute.com London Eye. Standing at 135 metres tall, this is the world's tallest cantilevered observation wheel. Now, it is cantilevered and it is supported on only one side, which means it is not a Ferris wheel. We do not use the F word here on this boat. My manager gets very distressed. Now, the observation wheel, as all of its capsules are on the outside of the wheel, as you can see, and we've got quick maths. We've got 32 pods there on the London Eye, 1 for every borough of London. But do not be alarmed if you find yourself on capsule 33. We removed capsule 13 as we didn't want anyone being superstitious, panicking at height. But the London Eye was entered as part of a competition to be the new landmark for London to celebrate the millennium, and it came second. Unfortunately, it did not win the competition. However, British Airways liked the design so much that they decided to build it themselves to the tune of £75 million. If you have bought a ticket for the London Eye today, you'll know how they made that money back. Side now, everybody, towards the end of the Hungerford Railway Bridge here, you can see a rather old building. Now, although there's been a train station on this site for over 150 years, Charing Station, this building is fairly new. Number 1 embankment, it's called, and it's apparently designed to look like a steam train coming out of a tunnel with steam sort of blowing around it. If you can see that, well done. It takes a bit of imagination, but there we are. Now, either side of the Hungerford Railway Bridge here, we have our 2 Golden Jubilee footbridges. And you know what that means, folks? 2 ways for the price of 1. These are the youngest bridges across the river, put into place in 2002, just 2 years after the London Eye was built. And that's why their structure somewhat matches the structure of the London Eye, mix and match. We'll see if we can get waves from these people up here. People on the bridge. Very friendly people. But don't cease your waiting yet, folks. We've got another bridge on the other side. Beautiful stuff. On your right hand side over, you can see the South Bank, which is a wonderful place to go for a walk here in London on a beautiful sunny day like today. Find lots of bars and eateries. You'll also find a festival hall, which has its origins back in the Festival of Britain. Back in 1951. Now this was designed as a bit of a tonic to the nation to cheer everybody up after the grim 4 years of war. It doesn't look very much on the outside, but on the inside you will find a beautiful Art Deco concert hall. And it is in fact home to the London Philharmonic Orchestra. So if you are a fan of classical music and want to see any while you're here in London, this is definitely the place to go. Catch our local orchestra there. Just next door you can find the South Bank Centre. Now underneath the South Bank Centre you'll find the Underground, which is the home to British skateboarding. It was the first purpose-built skate park back in the 1970s, and is said to be where the sport originated. And you do want to go see some people doing some whatever it has to do with skateboarders do. So it's a fun place. But yes, very iconic place in the skateboarding community. Now people are partying like the Red Sea on Waterloo Bridge here. We'll see if we can get any waves. Got a low-down, non-committal wave there. On your right-hand side, everybody, out further down the South Bank, you can see what has been crowned as Britain's ugliest building. Yes, King Charles III himself said it looked like the back end of a nuclear power station, this stone building here with a digital screen out the front of it. But on the inside, it's a very different story. This is actually home to our Royal National Theatre here in London. You'll find 3 beautiful theatres inside, the largest of which is the Olivier Theatre, named after Sir Laurence Olivier, who was the first artistic director of the National. It's a fantastic place to catch a show here in London if you want to see a West End quality show but you don't want to pay West End prices. It tends to be more launching pad for shows before they head to the West End, so you can also see the shows before they record here from on the trains. But it does look a little bit ugly on the outside. This is because it's designed in sort of brutalist architecture, which was very popular after World War II. We wanted something that was a little bit more secure and made us feel safe, strong and stable. Maybe over here on our right hand side, also got a little barge that's playing bird sounds. Don't really know why that is. I think that's how birds can birds around. Far along the river, on your right hand side still, you can see a red building with white stripes over it, and a tower that does appear to say the word OXO. But I have to tell you that it doesn't say the word OXO at all. This building did used to be owned by the company OXO. They made stock cubes that you can use to make radio. Are people familiar with the company OXO? Anyone know them? Anyway, they make stock cubes. This used to be their warehouse where they kept meat before they turned it into stock. And they got quite a lot of trouble in the 1930s because here in the Thames is a royal highway, which means it is illegal to skyline advertise along the Thames because the King and Queen don't want to have them advertising when they're coming up and down here on their boats. So when they put this tower up in the 1930s, they were taken to court and the judge said, you can't put that tower up, you can't put your company name on the top of that tower, that's advertising. And they said, our company name, what are you talking about? So their lawyer had a very clever plan. And the lawyer said, no, this isn't our company advertising. What we've done here is we've randomly bought some geometric windows and we just sort of put them in and then we've some circles, we've got some crosses there. It's nothing to do with the company name at all. It's just a pretty picture. And because there are no rules that state what shape your windows can or cannot be here in the UK, they miraculously got away with that one. So there we are, yeah, you can just skyline advertise on the Thames. On your left-hand side now, as you can see, our first beautiful view of St Paul's Cathedral. This is the second largest domed cathedral in the world, second only to St Peter's in the Vatican. And it's actually the fifth iteration of St Paul's Cathedral. The fourth one famously burned down in 1666 during the Great Fire of London, in which we lost around 80% of the city to the flames. The fire supposedly started on Pudding Lane in a man called Thomas Farragut's bakery. There was a spark from this oven to set the bakery alight. And the city at that time was built with a lot of wooden buildings, a lot of thatched roofs, and it very quickly travelled all around the city, buildings very close together. So thatched roofs were outlawed following the fire, and there's only one thatched roof that you will still see in London, and we're going to pass that in just a moment. But first up, we're going to Blackfriars Bridge. We've got 2.5 bridges, and you'll see what I mean when we get through to the other side. This one is? But of course, first up, we've got to see if we can get some waves from these people. You're going to have to try. Fantastic. So between the two bridges here, you can see we've got some rather strange red columns. Now these are the remains of St Paul's Railway Bridge. Over time, the trains got heavier and heavier. This bridge can no longer withstand the weight, so we had to build Blackfriars Bridge. But why did we remove the columns? I hear you cry with interest. I'll tell you why. We've got another fantastic view of St Paul's here, guys, on the left-hand side. Now, I will let you know that this version of St Paul's was designed by Sir Christopher Wren. And his original designs He wanted to place a 60-foot golden pineapple on top of the central dome there. And this is because at that time, pineapples were very new to the UK. They were very exotic, very exciting, very expensive, very rare. A pineapple at that time would have cost you around £5,000 in today's money. Not just on designated worship days. Now, Millennium Bridge is normally very friendly. This bridge is the landmark that won the competition that the London Eye lost. So we can see if we can get some waves of Millennium Bridge here. Hello! Please, Sonata, true Londoner, never waved back. On your right hand side now, everybody, you can see the opening thatched roof in London that I was talking about earlier. Now, this looks like a very old building, but it was quite completed in 1997. It is a recreation of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. The original one unfortunately burned down, much like the rest of London, although this wasn't in the Great Fire. It burned down in 1613 during a production of King Henry VIII. Now, William Shakespeare wanted to use the top technology in his production of Henry VIII, so he decided to use a live cannon to create the sound of thunder. But unfortunately, a live cannon with a live spark in a wooden building with a thatched roof just didn't really end so well, and the entire building burned to the ground, having only been stood for 14 years. But I guess we can really say that Shakespeare knew how to bring the house down. That's okay, guys. The jokes only get worse as we go on. Now, if you do want to catch a show and you don't want to get commercial, Shakespeare's Plains also have a place to go. Their tickets for the standing areas are only £5. What a bargain. And you don't come with you for about 3 hours, so be prepared for that. See if we can get waves from Southwark Bridge. We rarely get waves from Southwark Bridge, guys, so if we can, that'd be good. Hello there. No, I did warn you, to be fair. Up ahead on the right, you can see a beautiful pub. Now, this is the Anchor Tavern. There's been a tavern on this establishment for upwards of 700 years. This means that William Shakespeare himself probably had a pint in that tavern there. Charles Dickens as well, although definitely not at the same time. And it's also been theorised that the diarist said that Samuel Pepys may have witnessed the Great Fire of London from this very tavern, where he wrote all about it. Speaking of the Great Fire of London, just coming up on our left, coming into view in just a moment, you'll see a straight column with the golden ball at the top of it. Now, this is a monument, and it's London's monument to the Great Fire of London. Also designed and built by Sir Christopher Wren. He wanted for Londoners at the time to have a viewing platform from which they could watch their city being built from the ground, rebuilt from the ashes. It stands at 66 feet tall, meters tall, which is important because the fire was 66, and also if you were to lie upon the ground, the tip would apparently reach the bakery on Penny Lane, where the fire eventually started. You can still climb monument to the stairs briefly from the top, although there is 330 stairs and there is no lift. So we say it's a monument to the Great Fire because by the time you get to the top, the fire's where it will be burning. I'm not even a grade up here. It really isn't like that. Let's see if we can get some waves from the bridge up here. Anyone know people? Hello! Hello! Please! The job for heartbreak is. Alright, well here it is, guys. The one you've been waiting for. The world famous, the beautiful, the wonderful. It's London Bridge. It's right behind us. It's that only slightly London Bridge, just went under it now. I don't worry, it's not London Bridge at all. It's Tower Bridge. But even Google gets it wrong. If you Google London Bridge, you'll get pictures of Tower Bridge. 30th peaceful Princess Signal London Bridge back in 2006. She's got shots of Tower Bridge and music with her. She's like, goodness me, lady. Now, as we do approach Tower Bridge, guys, I know we're going to get your photos, but I will remind you, please do say anything on the top deck. But before we get to Tower Bridge here, and it's very hard to see because it's very camouflaged, but I will let you know, if you believe me, on our right-hand side is an 11,500 ton battleship. I know it's hard to spot. It's called the HMS Belfast and has a very famous naval history here in Britain. It fired from the original shots of the D-Day landings. And who's got to the front there? It can fire up to a range of 12 miles, and they're currently set to the SWAT directed at a service station on the M1. I'm not too sure why, but there we go. Now, the HMS Belfast had a very strong name from Rebel retired back in the 1960s. And they were very strong with the Imperial War Museum set up. And they said, "What is you want to have it?" And they bought it for the price we sold £1 after the bargain. But it is now a very impressive museum, so if you would like to board the HMS Belfast, you're more welcome to do so. Just have to go to ticket and remember that apparently it's great on board. So if you're interested in British naval history, it's a fantastic place to have a look inside what it really would have been like on a battleship. Coming up to Tower Bridge now, everybody. Now, Tower Bridge is a vascular bridge, which means it opens in the middle in order to allow ships or cruise ships to get through into this part of the river. Now, back in its heyday, this would have happened around 6,000 times a year. It doesn't happen that much anymore. Now, there is a rule in the city that states that water traffic takes precedence over road traffic. So if you do have a tall ship that you want to bring through into this part of the river, you just have to give 24 hours notice and they will raise the bridge for you. Now, it's a very old-looking bridge, Tower Bridge, but it was built in 1894. But the stonework of it was designed by the Victorians to match the stonework of the Tower of London, which you can see on your left-hand side, where Tower Bridge gets its namesake. The Tower of London is a lot older. It was built back in 1066, the central part of it, by William the Conqueror. But the Victorians wanted Tower Bridge to blend more nicely, so they did this sort of stone detailing that makes it look a lot older than it is. I've got a bit of a confession now, guys. I've been training you this whole tour. Because there is an Edwardian legend that states that if we can get away back from Tower Bridge, then we will get 5 years of good luck everybody on board the vessel and the vessel itself. So we've got a few more starting. Excellent work, guys. We'll see if we can get some rain still back. Make some noise. Now this legend comes from the fact that Tower Bridge would have been the last bridge that sailors would have seen before heading out to sea for sometimes up to 5 years. So the legend states that if you can get away from friends or family on the way out of London, fingers crossed when you return from sea 5 years later, your friends and family would still be waiting for you to welcome you when you got back. The good news is we're not going this way for 5 years, we're only going this way for a couple of minutes. So we've got the chance to double our luck and get back more weight. What we do. Okay, now I'm going to the port of London. Very old, busy port. Back in its heyday, apparently, there are so many boats in this port that you could have hopped from one side of the river to the other without a bridge, just hopping your boat to boat. Right-hand side, you can see Robert's Wharf. It used to be a spice warehouse. You can see the word spice on the side there. Nothing to do with the Spice Girls, unfortunately. I know, I was disappointed as well. But it is now some very unaffordable housing. If you would like to buy a one-bedroom apartment here in Buckers Wharf, it would just cost you the mere price of £3.5 million. And if you would like to still buy an apartment for £3.5 million, my name's Hannah. I'm looking for a company. So just... So make sure to get your photos, please stay seated. And make sure to use the correct hashtags when you upload them. Hashtag Tower Bridge, not wonderful. Hashtag Hannah's Wins. Hashtag Hannah's Best Tour Guide in London and all of their jokes are really funny. That was trending, guys. I don't know. As we reapproach Tower Bridge, I will tell you my favourite story about this bridge. Back in 1950s, there was a bus driver by the name of Albert Duncan who was driving a 78 bus over the Tower Bridge with double-decker bus. He didn't notice the stop sign warning him that the bridge was about to rise. He noticed as he was driving that the road was rising beneath him. Very worrying thing to notice as a bus driver. Two options: either driving his bus for a halt in time, or he'd take the fast and furious approach, put the pedal to the metal, lift up, put his foot down, guys, as far as he could, and he managed to launch his double-decker bus over a 12-foot gap that had opened up underneath him and landed safely with everybody on board unharmed. Pretty amazing feat. He was hailed a hero. There was even a couple on the bus getting married the following year that invited him to the wedding. And he joined him to the wedding in the very same double-decker bus. See if we can get as much luck as Albert Duncan. Hello, everybody! Same as good luck, guys, but absolutely smashing it today. Now I'm going to head downstairs now to see if I can say hello to all the lobby downstairs people. But on the right-hand side now, you can see a photo over here in Tower of London, where the Tower Bridge gets its name. Now, Tower of London has been famous for many things. It's been a palace, it's been a royal mint, it's been a zoo with all the lions and tigers and bears, oh my. It's also known as a place of execution and torture. Hello there, downstairs people! I've come to see you. I'm not just a voice in the sky, I'm a real human being. Now you may be able to see, guys, on the right-hand side here, you can see the word entry to the Traitors' Gate on the wall. Now that there used to be a tunnel with the world's first one-way system. If you went into that tunnel, you were not coming out. This was where we used to take our traitors on little boats to be executed. But believe it or not, this was a great honour. You did have to be a royal in order to be executed in the Tower of London. Most notably, Catherine Howard and Anne Boleyn, wives of King Henry VIII, were executed in there. Now, if you weren't a royal, you would have been executed outside on Tower Hill if you were commoners like you or me. And these public executions continued right up until 1868. So last public execution in London, 1868. But the Metropolitan line of the London Underground opened in 1863. So there was a whole period of 5 years where you could get the tube to go and watch someone be executed. Okay, but that's a fun fact. It puts things into perspective, doesn't it, guys? It says a fun fact. It's not very fun fact if you're being executed. Well, there they are. I'm going to go back upstairs now. It's lovely to see you all downstairs, people. Keep bringing good vibes. Oh no! The Tower of London, I'm told the beefeaters who guard the crown jewels inside do give very impressive tours of disaster lives, but they have to live inside the Tower of London to work there. Of course, it's a relatively good night tip afterwards. Probably a good idea anyway, isn't it? It's like one, of course. Do you know the legend? They took any tour guide in London at 10 years of financial success. I don't make the rules, guys, I just thought I'd let you know. Alright, now since we were flying earlier, the London Bridge is actually the OG bridge across the river. Stephen gets away. Hello! That's the Stevens family. We paid them £5 an hour to wait for you all, so I hope you enjoyed that. Yes, so I'm saying London Bridge was the original bridge. It's been a bridge on this site for over 2,000 years. The first bridge was built by the Roman wooden bridge. Obviously, this is not the same bridge, because as we all know, London Bridge has a habit of falling down. So much so that we wrote a song about it. You know the song, guys? The bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down. No, silence. That's okay, guys. So yes, London Bridge did fall down a lot, and this is the fourth London Bridge to be in this place.